Welcome into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee, the show where we highlight Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties from the pages of your local newspapers. I'm Scott Stewart, publisher of the Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County Advocate, and Main Street Maury. Before we get into the wraps this week, I want to tell you about a feature I've got in this week's show, and it's on the first fair in Southern Middle Tennessee, at least in our area, and that's down here at Giles County. It's the Giles County Fair, and it starts tonight. The Pulaski Lions Club is having its annual fair, rides and all, starting today. And I've got an interview with Matt Moore of the Lions Club to let everyone know all about it. And real quick, Matt asked me to make an acknowledgement of a couple of the major sponsors that were missed in our interview. Don't want to leave anybody out. So thank you to Wales Station Nursery, Big Creek Winery, and HD Inc. So those guys were left off. The rest of them, Matt will tell you about here in our interview. We also have a tribute page in all three of our newspapers this week to Memorial Day with information about the celebrations and the commemorations of Memorial Day in all of our communities. Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's move on to our wraps. And let's get started this week with the Pulaski Citizen Wrap. In the Pulaski Citizen Wrap this week, Jake Hammond takes the spot of honor at the top and center of the front page of the Pulaski Citizen as our Citizen Spotlight. Find out more about Jake in the article inside this week's edition. On the front page, the City of Pulaski is looking to create a codes official position to help with the enforcement of city ordinances. That and more from the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting last week is on page 1. Elkton will be celebrating Hay Day Saturday, June the 1st, and Connie Rowe gives us the lowdown on all the happenings at Elkton City Park on the front page this week. Also on the front page is a ribbon cutting at Kids Place Child Advocacy Center over here in Pulaski on 3rd Street. See and read all about it on page 1. Inside, we've got details on Pulaski's Memorial Day program set for 10 a.m. May 27th. That's Monday at the Sherwood Park and Amphitheater, with Speaker U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Herman C. Statham, retired. Also inside, we've got an article from Giles County Emergency Services about being weather aware and prepared. It's Realtors Week. Giles Pass highlights Riversburg. Margaret Campbell examines grilling season, and our adoptable pet this week is Carly. Obituaries, court docket, property transfers, backward glances, church directory page, community briefs, puzzles, comics, and we continue to catch up on school news as the school year comes to an end. All of that and more is in this week's Pulaski Citizen, including sports. And for that, let's go turn it over to Wade Neely.
Hey guys, Wade Neely here, sports editor at the Pulaski Citizen, coming to you live from MTSU's James E. Walker Library. Shout out to MTSU, our good friends from Blue Raider Nation, especially our good friend Clay Trainum for taking care of us and allowing us to use their podcasting facilities here today, once again on campus at MTSU. We're live during Spring Fling 31. I'll be here all week covering Loretto and Summertown and Richland. But I want to give you guys an update about the week that was for our area teams in this week's Pulaski Citizen. It was a tough week for the Richland Raiders as all three of our squads were eliminated painfully. I mean, all three squads suffered painful defeats as they fell just shy in their quest to make it to Murfreesboro. We'll start with the Richland soccer team. We broadcast all of these games on Pulaski Citizen Live, by the way, last week. So if you missed any of the action, you can go back and download the Mixler app, and you can find those in our archives. But Richland soccer, they fall through 2-1 to Cascade on the road. Jennifer Hawkins and myself had the broadcast. Richland gave up a goal early in the contest, about 8 minutes in. They were chasing the game all night long. They gave up an early goal in the second half. They were down 2-0, and you're thinking this is the end for the Richland Raiders, but they rallied back as Jaden Paris was awarded a penalty kick. He converts the kick himself, and then Richland is back in the mix. It's 2-1. They pressured as hard as they could in the final 10-plus minutes, but were unable to get that equalizer, and Richland's season comes to a close. Painstaking fashion as RHS falls in the region semis to Cascade. That was last Monday. Also last Monday, another heartbreaking defeat as the Lady Raiders softball program fell 3-2 to Huntland. Ava Schrader did all that she could in the circle and at the plate, as Richland only scored 2 runs on the day. Schrader only walked 1 batter, but that walk was a crucial one, as after she issued a free pass in the 6th inning, she promptly gave up a 2-run homer to tie the game at 2-2. And then in the 7th inning, a solo home run that just snuck inside the foul pole was the difference, as Huntland eliminates Richland. Again, your final score there was 3-2. And then capping the week for the Richland Raiders, 2 tough losses in sectional play, as Bryce Miller went 6 innings, had a great game on the mound for Richland in the opener at McKenzie, but they fall 1-0. And then in the nightcap, Miller had a great night at the plate. He had 2 doubles, as Richland did get a run. They got 2 runs, in fact, but they gave up 3. And so another 1-run defeat ended the Raiders' season. 2 straight years, Richland has gone over to McKenzie and suffered defeat. So they fall 1 game shy of Murfreesboro, falling in sectionals to a talented McKenzie Rebels squad. That was last week. We also have on tap a big week for you guys. None of our teams, unfortunately, made it to Murfreesboro. But as I mentioned, we are here covering Loretto and Summertown this week, but we still are looking out for our folks back home. Coming up in this week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen, we will have a lot of coverage from Special Olympics Giles County, as they not only have recently competed in area bocce ball tournaments, but they also went up to Lipscomb University last weekend to get ready for the state Special Olympic Games. In addition to that, we will also have pictures and cut lines from our Richland Raider and Giles County Bobcat football scrimmages. As spring has come to a close, but summer is definitely upon us, we will have local area baseball and softball box scores coming your way soon. And we will also have much, much more on local area sports in and around Giles County in the coming weeks. But that's all for now. Once again, thanks to our friends at MTSU. I'll be reporting for the Lawrence County Advocate the rest of the week. And again, Loretto and Summertown are here at the Spring Fling. But for now, the spring sports season has come to a close in Giles County. If you missed anything in print, check it out online at PulaskiCitizen.com. I'll see you next week. Once again, Wade Neely here, sports editor of the Pulaski Citizen.
Hey, Scott Stewart here, and I have made my way down to the Agri Park, Giles County Agri Park, and check it out. We got down here a little early, but you can see behind me and behind Matt Moore here, the rides are already showing up, and that means the Giles County Fair is coming, and it's coming up Wednesday, which today actually, May 22nd, and we're going to tell you a little bit about it. The first thing I want to tell you is in the paper we had an article, and it said that the armbands for the rides are $20 per night. That was an incorrect number. We're making corrections all over the place, so we're going to make it here $25 for armbands. $5 to the gate, $25 for the armbands, which give you all the most of the rides, I guess. I'll let Matt tell you a little bit more about it. First of all, Matt, it's May.
Right.
We're just not used to having a fair.
Very much not used to a fair in May. That happens in the fall, right?
Right, exactly.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with that, because you get a little bit cooler temperatures, which we've experienced. Yeah, you never know what the weather's going to be, so what's the difference? I mean, it usually rains fair week no matter when you have it, right?
That's kind of right, and I'm not sure what to hope being a farmer. I kind of hope it rains, and I kind of hope it doesn't. But yeah, that's probably the number one question that we have had about, what we're doing is, why is this the same fair as in the fall? Why are you doing it now? And, the big answer is, well, that was when we could get the stuff that you see behind us.
Right.
That's when it was available, was a big part of it. When we're doing it, and so that was the driving force behind that, and that got finalized really April 19th.
Wow.
Was actually when we got that finalized. So we've been very busy the last month trying to get everything together.
And one thing that has been missing, I think you've talked about it's gotten expensive to get the rides, and you kind of got to get them when you can,
right.
And that's kind of been missing from our fair for the last couple of years. I think people have mentioned that, right? Is the quantity of rides,
right? Last year they got the rug pulled out from under them because the carnival company didn't come, and then everybody thought, well, there's not a fair. Well, there was, but we just had to backpedal a lot.
And I would say we're still going to have a festival of some kind in the fall too.
They still have the Here's the Beef. I keep forgetting the dates on that, but it's the end of July and into August, and that's That's another question we've got a lot. That's when all the agricultural exhibits will be at the Here's the Beef Festival. That is kind of a disadvantage of having it right now because, you know, none of that stuff is available to show.
But we're going to have all that. We're just going to spread it out. We're going to
Right.
get the rides. We're going to get the carnival. We're going to get the things that you expect at a fair. And like we said, it's already out here. And so that we're going to get that in May.
Right.
Starting May 22nd, starting tonight, and it's going to go. And I'll let you give us some more details. It starts tonight, May 22nd, and it go how many nights and what's going on?
Okay, we'll go May 22nd, Wednesday through Saturday, May 25th.
Okay.
The first 2 nights is pretty much just the carnival's the only headliner. Now coming Friday night, we have the junk car jump and run like we've had before, and then Saturday night we have motocross. Right. Another question we have that, you know, we've gotten a lot of is why not a derby, or when's the derby? Are you having a derby? And that was another thing of there just wasn't enough time to know we would be able to get that done in time. Got food. The Lions Club will have our food booth. It's a pretty good concession stand.
Yeah, y'all obviously, the concession stands. When the concession stand at the fair is up and running, it's like one of the top 3 restaurants in the county.
It's
right?
not bad.
That's the way I figure.
It's not bad at all.
It's the same thing as a Richland ball game. If you've never eaten the concessions at a Richland ball game, they literally are one of the top 3 restaurants whenever they're serving. And the same thing is down here. These folks at the Lions Club do an awesome job with the concessions, and they're doing a great job with the fair. And I like the idea of what you guys are trying to do. You're getting the rides in here when you can get them in here. People are we're getting out of school. These kids have got all kinds of energy, ready to be running around wide open. And now you can just bring them down here, get a $25 armband on them and let them loose. And there's nothing. I don't think there's anything better than a fair actually at this time of year.
Right.
So just to remind everybody, we want to make sure we say this a bunch of times. I'm going to I told Matt I'd let him say it about the armband so that there's no confusion.
Right. It's to do the rides, and all the rides is $25 for the armbands. Now it's $5 at the gate to get in. Now something we've also done, we have delivered tickets to all the schools 8th grade and under. It's free with paying adults. Yeah. Now if there's 3 or 4 kids in the household, we're not going to keep it to a strict 1-to-1. So like you have to have 1 adult for every kid. But we we just want to we don't want a bunch of unsupervised kids here, and we got to just trying to help out.
Kind of a per
family
kind of situation.
Sure, kind of like that. And we'll be giving away some tickets on the radio, and so there'll be some folks that'll get to come in. I want to go back and talk a little bit about the jump and run. We've had some questions called in about that. It's $50 to enter your car, and you can register at the gate. So just come if you've got a one to jump and run and do that thing. Just come on and you can get signed up there.
So yeah, don't forget we are here about a week ahead of time. There's a lot more rides coming. This place will be packed. But when you're seeing this on Wednesday, May 22nd, this place ought to be hopping full of rides and ready to go for that night, May 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. This Wednesday today through Saturday. Now, real quick, we talked about it. This is a Lions Club. It's a Lions Club fair. Lions Club been doing this for 70 years, like we've talked about. And this is at the Agri Park. Everything's the same except for the day. We're just doing it a little earlier in the year. But there's also another thing that Matt wanted to share, which is the sponsors that help make this possible, because that's why we're able to get this down here, right?
Right. We couldn't get it done without our sponsors, and we really appreciate them. And I just want to take a minute, and I'm going to read off a few of those. These are our gold level sponsors: the Fence Company, State Representative Clay Doggett, Mid South Concrete, First National Bank, and Brindley Construction. And our silver sponsors are Cardin Distributing Company, Sundrop Bottling Company, Bank of Frank Ewing, Sharp Motor Company, Murray Chevrolet, Tycon Excavating, Brick Church Meats and More, People's Choice Realty, Self Service, Benchmark Physical, All American Smokehouse, Valley Packaging, Watkins Driveway and Construction, and the Giles County Co-op. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Absolutely. And go do business with these folks, because they have supported your community. So go and support them.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Thank you, Matt, for saying that. Hey, everybody talks about they want to have a fair with rides. They talk about they want to have stuff going on. And I'm telling you, as a person that goes on around in this community and been doing this for 30 years, those businesses and the ones just like them that came before them, and the ones that he just read off are the businesses that make the stuff.
around this community happen. So if you want this, you want the events and these kind of things to happen, you've got to go support these guys.
And
go ahead.
And there's a much longer list of bronze level sponsors that they gave a little less, but they gave what they could.
All of them.
And so you'll see them recognized with some signage here at the fair. So notice who supported your community.
So thank you again, Matt. Once again, starting tonight, May 22nd, all the way through Saturday, rides and events going on all week down here at the Giles County Agri Park. Thank you to the Pulaski Lions Club. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Having a good, confident smile and being able to portray that positivity to others is really helpful.
A professional family atmosphere is what we get every time we come here.
Our hygienists do a better job at kind of assessing mouths and coming up with plans than most dentists do.
They're very kind and they're very aware of other people.
I think if there's things that I would want you to leave here with, I want you to feel like you were heard, that we listened to you, and I want you to feel like that your concerns were addressed.
Whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, when it comes to your performance, don't settle for anything less than excellence. We're proud to announce that Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic is now Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance of Columbia, where we are redefining sports medicine and orthopedics. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance's team of expert sports medicine physicians understands the unique demands of your body. TOA Columbia specializes in personalized orthopedic care, offering state-of-the-art treatments for everything from sports injuries to joint replacements. Learn more at toacolumbia.com.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
The wild horses are coming to Franklin. The Mustang Heritage Spectacular. 4 days of celebrity freestyle, liberty training, trick riding, and extreme Mustang makeover. Plus the shopping. Over 100 vendor spaces with clothing, food, home goods, and things you can't find anywhere else. All that and celebrity signings at a music stage too. June 20th through 23rd at Williamson County Ag Expo Park. Don't miss a moment with a weekend pass. MustangHeritageFoundation.org for tickets.
On the front page of the Main Street Murray this week, Columbia is mourning the loss of Mary Susan Berry Kennedy, who died from injuries suffered in a fall last week. Main Street Murray sends our prayers to the Kennedy family, and you can find her obituary there on page A1 on this week's Main Street Murray. Also on the front, we have a feature on a CAT, that's a capital C, capital A, capital T training program that has been launched at Mount Pleasant High School. The Columbia City Council passes a $47 million budget for the 24-25 fiscal year. That is first reading. Second reading will be next month. The Murray County Animal Shelter is seeking extra space, and the Tennessee Flight Training in Mount Pleasant has opened the door to a new career. Inside, 2 elementary schools have new principals. Spring Hill Police have launched a special needs registry. Columbia Power and Water got the okay to expand its water treatment facility from the Planning Commission in Columbia. A Columbia State professor has died on a trip, and Columbia has hired Hannah Miller as the city's new public information officer. Piggly Wiggly at Neely's Mill has some amazing Memorial Day deals, and Main Street Murray is the only place that you'll find them. 2 pages in red, white, and blue right there in Main Street Murray this week. As usual, we've got obituaries, weather from Tennessee Valley Weather, community calendar, comics and puzzles, and Main Street Awards voting for Murray County is going on right now. There's a whole lot more in Main Street Murray this week, and that includes local sports. And for that, here's Mo.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, sports editor at Main Street Murray, and as you can probably tell, we are here at Spring Fling Media headquarters over in Murfreesboro as we get ready for this week's high school spring sports state championships. But wanted to tell you about this week's print edition of Main Street Murray because there's a lot Spring Fling related in it, including Columbia Academy seizing its first Division 2A state semifinal berth with a pair of wins last week over Silverdale. We got coverage of that best of 3 series win for the Bulldogs. We've also got kind of an update on all of our area athletes that will be taking part in the state track and tennis championships. So you can check that article out and see if any of your favorites are headed this way this week. Columbia Central hired a new girls basketball coach last week. We've got coverage of that hire in this week's print edition of Main Street Murray as well. Also, Summit was stopped short of a trip to Spring Fling, falling in the Region 5 4A semifinals down at Lincoln County. We went down there and we've got coverage of that contest as well as a big award that was presented earlier today that a couple of area athletes were up for. The Tennessee Baseball Coaches Association presented its Mr. Baseball Awards for 6 different classifications, the 4 classes in Division 1 as well as Division 2A and AA. Loretto's Carter Daniel and Columbia Academy's Gunnar Skelton were both finalists for those awards. Unfortunately, neither one, but both will be playing this week for state championships. Again, we've got coverage of the finalists in the print edition, and we will have coverage on MainStreetMurray.com regarding the winners and how those fell out. So coverage of all of that. We've got the bracket for the Division 2A baseball state championships that will include Columbia Academy. So be sure and check all of that out in this week's print edition. Also, again, on Main Street Murray, we will have up-to-date coverage of Spring Fling as it relates to our local athletes and teams. So be sure and check that out. Thanks for joining us.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
They have always met wildest expectations as far as taking care of my teeth and my health. You know, teeth health is very important now to your heart. And I told him one day, I said, I'd love to have nice teeth and nice hair. And he said, well, I can take care of the teeth, but I can't take care of the hair. And I said, you can make my teeth? He said, yeah. I said, well, let's go for it. And he did. And I have been tremendously pleased. Dr. Hart, if you need him at night, he's here. This staff here will take care of you 24/7. You don't have to worry about, I can't get a hold of my dentist, my tooth's hurting. No. They will be here for you. And if I could get Dr. Hart to take that same artistry that he has and grow hair, then he would be double rich.
Nashville Sounds Baseball is back in Hit City for the 2024 season. Spend your nights and weekends at the ballpark with weekly giveaways, fireworks shows, throwback deals, live music, and more. Top talent will take the field at First Horizon Park against the AAA Minnesota Twins, Baltimore Orioles, Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, Cincinnati Reds, and more. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at NashvilleSounds.com. We will see you in Hit City.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Nashville Super Speedway.
That's right, guitars and fast cars right here in Music City. This summer, NASCAR is back at the Nashville Super Speedway. Get your tickets now to watch your favorite driver take on the 1.33 miles of concrete chaos. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to lock in your spot June 28th through the 30th for the Ally 400 race weekend.
The wild horses are coming to Franklin. The Mustang Heritage Spectacular. 4 days of celebrity freestyle, liberty training, trick riding, and extreme Mustang makeover. Plus the shopping. Over 100 vendor spaces with clothing, food, home goods, and things you can't find anywhere else. All that and celebrity signings at a music stage too. June 20th through 23rd at Williamson County Ag Expo Park. Don't miss a moment with a weekend pass. MustangHeritageFoundation.org for tickets.
In the Lawrence County Advocate this week, a couple of local teams went out and won themselves the championships last week. So congratulations to the state champion E.O. Kaufman baseball team and the state champion Summertown Middle School softball team. Find out more on the front page of this week's edition of the Lawrence County Advocate. As we reported last week, lightning has been ruled the probable cause of the fatal fire in New Prospect earlier this month. Also on page 1, a storm that ripped through Etheridge last week has been declared an EF0 tornado. And Lawrenceburg's motorcycle unit, Lieutenant Josh McNeil, brought home some hardware from a recent motorcycle rodeo. Inside, our friends at Southern Tennessee Regional Health System have received an A in patient safety from the Leapfrog Group. The Loretto and Lawrenceburg pools are opening Saturday. We've got Memorial Day closings. It's Foster Care Awareness Month right now. May is Foster Care Awareness Month, and there was a proclamation by Mayor Blake Lay. A local man died in a crash on I-65. Last week was also proclaimed Goodwill Week in Lawrenceburg by Mayor Lay. H.B. Brink's 100-year celebration, and a Summertown student finished second in a national civics bee. Where that went. As usual, we have local obituaries, town crier community briefs, puzzles and comics, and a local church directory. And in sports this week, we highlight Loretto Baseball's ride to the state tournament and the Summertown girls tennis team schedule in the state tournament, all with photos. It's all in this week's edition of the Lawrence County Advocate. Get your copy today. Call 762-1726.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather today.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Thank you so much for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. I'm Ben Luna here in the Weather Center with a check on your forecast for this hump day. All right, on the weather front for today, tracking rain and storms this morning. More shower activity will be with us as we look ahead through the latter portion of today into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it kind of goes on this week. We've got plenty of rainfall and rain chances to speak about here over the course of the next few minutes. We'll talk about that. Plus, Memorial Day weekend. Is all of it going to be a washout, or will we see some dry weather? You'll find out in this Wednesday edition of Your Weather Today, made possible by our friends down at Beasley Wealth Management on the Brook Square. Here's a look at satellite and radar over the past 24 hours. A very, very stormy day out in the plains yesterday. For us, though, beautiful. Mostly sunny skies prevailed on Tuesday. Today, not so much. The remains of this system on top of us now, producing shower and storm activity across the region. Here's a look at Futurecast, and that moisture will continue to break apart as it heads through the course of the day, but still it's going to be with us in an on and off fashion for much of this Wednesday. A little bit of a break here for tonight, and then more shower and storm activity will be here late this evening and into early Thursday. And then some scattered rainfall will be around here for the day tomorrow. Now, this is the GFS model painting those areas of potential shower activity into Thursday afternoon. So we will maintain a rain chance for tomorrow as well, though I do think it's more isolated in nature as compared to today. On into Friday, here comes a warm front that's going to shelter the area with more rain, including a few storms, and then tracking a cold front that'll be working into the area late Saturday and into Sunday. From there, we'll be seeing more storms in the Tennessee Valley, and actually a few storms we'll be watching closely into your Sunday. Here's a look at the severe weather risk that is already outlined for us on Sunday. It is a very large area, but it does encompass almost our entire viewing area, and so we will be tracking this event very carefully. Again, that's going to be on Sunday. Still, a lot can change between now and then, so stay tuned to the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel as we'll keep you updated on how this is looking as we get closer into that time frame. Now, unfortunately, unfortunately, that's going to be right in the middle of Memorial Day weekend. And on either side of that chance for those stronger storms will be, you guessed it, more areas of rain. Showers and storms with us for both Saturday and Monday. Temperatures remaining on the warm side, though, well into the mid-80s here. Overnight lows just shy of 70 degrees in the early morning. Here's a check on your Parks Lumber Day Builder forecast. At least for this Wednesday, we are wet to start and then more scattered stuff as we roll into the afternoon, I think. Temperature-wise for you today, we'll be topping out in the mid to upper 80s for daytime highs across the region. Here's a look at the next 7 days from the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, and this is a lot to take in, I know, but here it is, showers and storms likely as we roll through the rest of today. More storms here late tonight and into early Thursday morning. Scattered stuff around here for the rest of the day tomorrow. Another round of storms likely as that warm front pushes across the area on Friday. That will lead into Saturday. Tracking the potential for strong storms on Sunday. Keep that in mind. And then more scattered storms for Monday and a few showers around here for Tuesday. We do have periods of washouts, unfortunately, but that is something that we are tracking and we'll keep you updated with here on Tennessee Valley Weather. Kelly is here at noon today. Fred Gossage live at 5. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a blessed Wednesday.
That's it for this week's Morning on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. We appreciate everybody who picks up the Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County, and Main Street Murray and finds out what's going on in your community. Thank you for caring enough about what's going on in your community to pick up your local newspaper. If you'd like to find out about subscriptions, make sure you visit mainstreetmediatn.com for all of our papers to get a subscription, and you can pick one up at markets all across your county. Until next week, if the good Lord's willing, we'll be right back here.